Welcome to another edition of the Put Me Over Podcast, episode 75. I am your host, Andrew Gomez, a.k.a. The Mez, joined today by my lovely, wonderful, beautiful co-hosts. We got a full roster today, folks. To my left, we got the big Brad Booty Daddy, hard work Brad Tharp himself in the house.
I'm ready to get delicious tonight.
Sounds sexual. Also joining us, he is, to my right, the 10th wonder of the world, the puncher of walls, Dicklish himself, Richard Garcia.
Hey, Brad, welcome back, dude.
Hey, thanks, man. Glad to be here.
And rounding out the crew, you know him, you love him. He is the Pinoy powerhouse, Byron Pagdalao.
Test. Can you guys hear me?
I got you loud and clear, buddy.
And likewise, welcome back, Byron.
Yeah. How's everyone doing? I'm loving that we have a full roster here, guys. But how you guys doing?
Great. I'm ready to talk about 12 hours of wrestling this week.
A lot to get into this week, guys.
Yes.
We got the Clash of Champions, Raw, Smackdown, the debut of NXT. A lot of stuff happened in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I don't know where to begin, but we got to get this stuff out of the way, guys. If you're ever looking for some wrestling merchandise, look no further. Let's give it up to our sponsor, LapelYeah.com. Like I said, they got all the hottest and latest apparel and merchandise. Hold on, I've had a couple beers today. If you're ever looking for some wrestling merchandise, look no further. Go to LapelYeah.com. Search their website. All you got to do, check out things you like. They got it. If they don't, they probably have. God damn it. Okay, let's. Blah, blah, blah. All right.
It's all right. Take your time.
You're going to edit this out of the video,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, we'll
Okay. Before we get into the show, let's give it up to our sponsor, LapelYeah.com. If you're in the market for some wrestling merchandise, look no further. Go to LapelYeah.com. Use our promo code PUTMEOVER, and in turn, that website will put you over, and you'll get 20% off your entire order. Act fast because supplies are limited. Also, we got two sponsors. Did you know that, Byron? While you're away, we got two sponsors. Give it up for our second sponsor, grudgematchbrandapparel.com.
Whoa.
Go to their website, search Grudge Match Brand on Instagram. They got the hottest. They're probably going to do a Bad Brains mashup because they do punk rock and wrestling infused t-shirts. They got the Roddy Piper Circle Jerk shirts. They got the Bull Nakana mix up with the Cramps.
What?
They have a Jushin Thunder Liger mashed up with Motorhead. And those are just the first three releases.
Those are all awesome, by the way.
So keep an eye out.
What's the site again?
Grudge Match Brand.
Take a look.
Yeah, just search for them on Instagram. That's the easiest way to find them. But definitely pre-order their stuff because supplies are very limited with their stuff. So go out and just check them out. We're going to have... hopefully one of them on the show soon because they're an awesome new company and we like to support our friends. So go out and check them out. We'll set up a promo code for them eventually, I think. But with that said, a lot to get into in the world of wrestling. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the news. Let's get into some Dick's Dirty News. Take it away, Dick.
Oh man. Well, we got quite a bit of news going on this week, gentlemen, and we got a full house too, man. Look at this. We're all back together. We're all one big happy family.
And Becky called it.
I like when Dick's Dirty News starts. It always starts with, "Oh man," it really pumps me up, dude. It's my favorite part of the news. So
That's a t-shirt right there.
it definitely is a t-shirt.
Let's
dude.
make it.
All right. So what do we got, Dick?
I don't know how to segue into that, guys.
Just say, "Oh man." That's your.
There you go.
That's your line.
There you go. All right.
You got to say it. Say it for the people sitting at home and for the thousands in attendance.
Oh man.
Yes.
I feel like remember when Bart had his catchphrase, I didn't do it?
Yeah.
That's exactly it right there.
You're the oh man.
And then I'm gonna play that shit to the ground, and then there goes my 15 seconds of fame.
And
I didn't
milk it.
No, you got to say it in different inflections.
And that's
Oh,
true.
man?
That's true. Anyway, so I can't even say it now. I don't want to overuse it.
You almost said it again.
I know, I was like,
Yeah.
wait a
He
minute.
almost said it.
I almost said it
naturally
again and again. So
Do it.
So Big Cass over this weekend, he was over at Russell Pro over in the Northeast. This past weekend, Russell Pro did have a show dedicated to Pat Buck. He was one of the main guys over for that promotion. It's gonna be his last show there, and he's gonna be going over to WWE. as a producer. So Kaz was there, and he apparently got into an altercation with Joey Janela. He may have slapped Janela, and he appeared to be under the influence. So apparently what happened was that someone had stolen his sweater at the show.
If you want to steal my sweater, SAWFT, don't let me find out, or I'll spit in your face.
Spitting in your face.
Spitting in your face.
What band is
Watch
that?
me unravel. I'll soon be arrested.
Soon be arrested.
Sitting on the floor. I've come undone.
That was improv at its finest, guys. Wow.
You heard it here first, guys.
I might have botched that lyric though, but but yeah. So he got into an altercation. He was definitely belligerent, and the next day he did post a tweet apologizing to not only to the fans but also to the staff at WrestlePro. He posted on his Twitter. I'll just be very brief about it. He says, I've been very honest with my past struggles, and it's been an ongoing battle. On Saturday night, I obviously let my demons get the better of me, and I ruined an important night for a really great guy and an unfortunate series of events. I'm going to get help from family and friends as we speak, and we'll begin professional help in the near future, and ask all to please respect my privacy in the meantime. So Kaz has been going. He's had history of having his ups and downs after leaving WWE.
We just talked about him recently.
We
about
did,
how
too.
great he was doing.
Yeah, and he DDP a while back. He did help him out. He did help him get on the right path. But of course, with addiction, it's not always a straight path. You're going to have your ups and downs, and hopefully this is a temporary down for him, and he gets back to the road recovery.
It still doesn't excuse like you being an asshole and needing to get punched out by someone on their farewell. You're gonna make a scene and spit in their face, and then get knocked out for that. I don't think this is okay. I think this is shitty. And
Absolutely.
not only did you spit in someone's face, but you spit in the face of the guy that's going to the company that you wish he could be a part of. I don't see him coming back from this.
I think it's over. Like the experiment. I think he needs to find a different career path. Obviously, as all addicts, there's triggers to like people's behavior. And I think professional wrestling might be not the best option for Cass's health and his well-being. I think he should just move on from it.
Maybe being in the spotlight brings it out of him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's shitty. It's
when he
super
was
shitty.
away, he wasn't getting into any of these problems. But now that he's put back into like this rock star lifestyle, maybe his mentally he can't handle it. And I don't know. I think this guy's done.
I think you guys are right, and I do like his statement that he put out. Actually, he didn't make any excuses for anything, and he apologized, and he realizes that it's a problem he has, and it's an ongoing issue for him, and he didn't try to hide anything. So I appreciate that from him, at least.
Right. At least he's honest with himself.
Yeah.
And let's all say goodbye to his pepperoni nipples.
R.I.P. Big Cass Nipples.
Rest in peace.
May you flourish in another line of work
Thanks. For your health and ours. Thank you.
for your health. What else we got, Dick?
All right, so this past weekend as well, a lot of things did happen over the past weekend. AAA did have their show in New York City. Originally, that was going to be the show at MSG, but due to low ticket sales, they had to move it from MSG to the Hulu Center.
I like MSG in my Chinese food
Yep.
and in other things like that. Byron, are you an MSG fan?
Are you?
Big time.
Yeah.
No, honestly, that shit's delicious. It's bad for you.
It makes everything great.
Yeah, but dude, you can't stop eating Chinese food when that shit's on there.
It's addicting.
it's
It's
so
a problem. But go on. The other MSG.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
I get it 'cause I'm
MSG,
Asian.
the world famous MSG, Madison Square Garden. So they were they did announce over the summer that they were going to be having the show at Madison Square Garden, but due to low ticket sales, instead they moved it to the Hulu Center, which is right next door to Madison Square Garden. Well, Cain Velasquez, he did make his his American debut, and it looks like there's gonna be a lot of eyes set on Kane, and I could see why, because he did a pretty good job in his second match in WWE in AAA.
That's gotta be that's gotta be Kane. That's gotta be Kane.
Cain Velasquez, not Kane.
Oh,
Cain Velasquez.
man.
Vince McMahon had a stroke while on the show today.
He did.
Cain Velasquez, not Kane.
Yes, Cain
The
Velasquez.
Demon Kane.
Kane the mayor.
No, the Mayor Kane.
Although the
I saw that coming over here.
oh man.
I could hear Andrew just laughing to himself, getting set up for that.
You said Cain Velasquez, like, God damn it, just say Kane so I can launch into this thing right quick. I'm sorry, Dick. Go on.
Go ahead.
But basically, yeah, he just had his North American debut, his American debut at Madison Square Garden, and it looks like he's done a pretty good job so far in the ring. So it looks like there's gonna be a lot of eyes set on him. I mean, who knows where he could be leading up? I don't think he's gonna stay in AAA for long. I think he's gonna get snatched up by definitely by either WWE or by AEW.
Nah, he's a WWE guy. He's gonna draw those.
He's going for the
asses to
money.
seats for
He's going for
sure.
the money.
Either way, wherever he goes, he's gonna be drawing. He could draw some big money.
I heard there's a lot of flippity flips too. He's really good at the.
Does he
flippity.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear
I
he's
gotta see
super
him.
athletic. So we'll see.
Really? Nice.
Are we going to get to see Brock Lesnar versus Cain Velasquez in a WWE ring?
Shit, I don't watch the shit.
You
out
never.
Of that one.
It could potentially happen. You never know. But then again, I mean, Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar are both in WWE, and we never got that match.
That's true, because I think Bobby Lashley would beat Brock Lesnar
In real life,
in real life, yeah.
I don't know.
What do you
Brock-
guys think?
I think Brock whoop his ass. Because who's bigger, Brock, right?
Actually, we'll get into it, but Brock looks really good on
Oh,
SmackDown.
he looks sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
looked
yeah.
very lean.
That means he's gonna.
I would think Lashley because he actually has more MMA experience. He's been in more fights. He's done more training.
I feel like he
over
could
a
turn
longer
his
period of
neck
time.
better.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a big part of it.
But Brock is an athletic marvel, man. He jumps. He's really freakishly athletic.
he is even in his 40s.
Especially for a whitey too. But yeah.
Yeah, but look at Bobby Lashley's got
Yeah.
that genetic
Oh yeah. He's different.
advantage.
He's different.
What else we got, Dick? I'm all for like new superstars emerging wherever they might come from. It's only going to help the business. So I'm keep going, Kane. Get your money and go wherever they're going to pay you the most.
Hi.
So another thing that we reported yesterday was rumored that remember last year how they had the Evolution pay-per-view, the all women's pay-per-view.
Yes.
Okay, well, it turns out that we're not going to have it again this year, but we may have an all women's SmackDown coming up in November.
Okay.
Just in
All right.
time.
That's good.
Just in time around the 1 year anniversary mark of Evolution, but also another reason why is because come around November, WWE is going to Saudi Arabia again.
Oh, that's dirty.
So this is rumored. If it's true, I could absolutely see that happening, where to appease not only the female wrestlers but also to those who criticize WWE's agreement with the Saudi Arabian regime.
Trump 2020. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's weird that it's like, okay, because we're doing this, we're gonna do this. Like, and you can see right through it. That's kind of weird. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if they build any girls up with their storylines. Because right now, it's just the storylines are for the championships. And
Yeah, there's no other.
Right.
There's
not
no,
really. I mean, what, Lacey Evans and Natalya have a feud going on or whatever.
cares?
But to fill up, 2 hours of SmackDown with maybe some culminations of some feuds, they're gonna have to start working towards it now.
Hear me out. We're going to go to Saudi Arabia. We're not going to have any superstars available. So let's put the women instead of a pay-per-view that did really shitty last year. Let's put them on SmackDown. Thank you, Fox.
I mean, although to be fair, like in terms of the pay-per-view numbers,
Alicia Fox on Fox. It sells itself, damn it. Such good shit. I'm a genius. Sorry, Dick. I mean,
oh man,
you can jump in whenever you like.
I mean, I don't know how you. I don't know how I can. I don't even can come up with that. I mean, Vince's mentality, dude.
I'm the commissioner, chairman of the board, higher power, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Grapefruits. God damn it. Inject a lethal dose. Keep go on.
Is that Vince's shredder?
I'm gonna kill my own product by injecting a lethal dose of poison. by putting women on SmackDown exclusively. Go on, Dick.
Jesus, dude.
Kill my own product.
What else we got, Dick?
Come on, boy.
Oh man. But
That was the best oh man of the night.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Print them up.
You got your opportunity to say oh man right now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh man.
What else we got, Dick?
So Raw and SmackDown.
Dead air.
Those were good, huh?
I can't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dude. I can't.
You can't what?
Always get what you want.
Let's just move on. We'll move on.
No, it's a good story. We need to talk about
No,
it.
I know. I lost my train of thought after that. I don't know what to. I don't know what to say after that.
Come on, you got to roll with the punches, buddy.
Oh man.
I'm gonna have a little
I'm done.
calendar.
I'm done. I'm done.
Oh man! All right, so I'll fill in for Dick here.
Go ahead. Fill
let me
in.
go out of my way to find this story because Dick can't remember shit.
That's it, right? That's not that much news. I think that's all of it on that on the news.
Yeah. What else we got, Dick? Let's just change it up then.
You want to go to Raw? Oh no, let's go to the.
Well, we got to talk about. We also got to talk about Clash of Champions as well.
We got.
Oh, what about was it last week TNA got bought by
Yeah, we mentioned
yeah.
that last week.
Okay. That was like at the end of
What's this story about, Dick? The Starcade. I didn't know about this.
Well, it turns out they're going to have a 1 hour special on the network in December, and it just they had it last year as well. And honestly, at this point, they just might as well just have it as their December pay-per-view.
Well, last year it was NXT Starcade, right? Or was it just like a house show?
It was just a house show. It was a house show in I think it was in Greensboro last year, if I remember.
Okay.
Oh no, no, it was in Cincinnati, but still though, it was still in a traditional mid South.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you just make it its own pay-per-view?
Not mid South. I'm sorry. I can't even think of the territory now. That Jim Crockett Promotions, the old Jim Crockett Promotion territory.
Old Jim Crockett.
So yeah, you're right. I mean, it should have its own pay-per-view at this point. I mean, why not instead of have it being TLC, just have it called Starcade?
Especially if they're gonna hype it up like it's this big deal, but in actuality, it's just a house show. I feel like the prestige of the name Starcade needs a little bit more than just a house show we put on, and all the faces are gonna win, and that's it.
Right. And another thing with that is just like you don't need to have gimmick pay-per-views every month. Like just Starcade itself could be like a tradition, and then you could save TLC for whenever you want to use it. Like make it more meaningful.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of history that goes with Starcade. Why not capitalize on it and make it like a big deal? Make it something special. Anything else, Dick?
I got nothing else. You guys, anything?
Nope.
I'm just looking. I'm getting word from my producer here. There's going to be a special SmackDown kickoff show going on a half hour before SmackDown debuts on Fox with a special blue carpet. Not really much, but it's going to have some of SmackDown's greatest highlights. Kind of get people ready to go for SmackDown.
Is that just before only the first episode?
I think it's going to be before the first episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. That's cool.
So I mean, that's something else that we can look at as we lead into getting into Fox on SmackDown on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if that's all you got, Dick, and you're the news guy, then that's all I got. Let's get into Clash of Champions this week. What did you guys think of the show? What would you rate it?
Thumbs in the middle.
B minus.
B
minus.
I would say
minus?
C.
Like a
C plus.
Yeah, to give it a C plus to
yeah,
me.
C plus.
It kind of came off like a glorified version of Raw. Nothing really crazy happened.
Not a lot of title changes. I thought they were gonna actually switch some of these titles around. Not a lot of good highlights either. But
Yeah.
I thought the matches were actually pretty good. Like it's a good, like you said, a good Raw. It'd be like a bunch of house show matches. I think
Yeah.
it was quality matches. I thought the wrestling was good. So
Yeah, I think to me it just kind of, I don't know, it was kind of easy to call. I feel like I got most of them right as far as who was going to win this match, the matches, and if I didn't, it made sense of what they were trying to book. What was your match of the night? If you had to pick one match of the night,
Sasha versus Becky. I thought that match was sick. The only thing that really pissed me off was the the disqualification. That shit's lame.
I agree. The thing that pissed me off was that no one made it clear that the match was over.
Everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
No one in the audience. If it wasn't for dumbass Michael Cole telling me that it was ended in disqualification, I never heard a bell ring.
Or the referee, or have the referee say
the referee didn't make a motion like this match is over. Nothing like that. I like the brawl. That set up the fact that they have to be contained inside Hell in a Cell. It's not just a gimmick for a gimmick, even though it is. But it made me feel like, okay, this is like a blood feud that needs to be taken to the cell.
Yeah, I actually liked Eric Rowan's performance. Wasn't too bad. I thought that he held his own against Roman Reigns.
He didn't look like a total jabroni fighting Roman Reigns.
Right.
Yeah,
No, he didn't.
no, he was all right. And then my boy Luke Harper. Yeah. My God, good to see him again.
How many times are you gonna reboot that though? Like, how many times can they just separate those two?
They need to separate them.
Yeah, give him a
I know.
shot.
God.
Well, they tried and he got hurt. And
Ooh,
then
Luke
Harper.
Luke
yeah.
Harper,
He was
yeah.
so white hot though. It was insane.
Oh, he had the IC title. He was doing so good.
Oh.
Damn it.
And we'll get into what happened on SmackDown a little bit, but I think those were the two matches that kind of stuck out.
Oh, and Bailey. I thought Bailey was kind of cool. How she did that chicken shit bullshit when she ran.
That was
out.
a quick match.
I love
Literally
that.
ran away.
Literally
yeah,
ran
yeah,
away.
That was kind of cool.
It helps with the development of her heel character. A really kind of short match, not as short as the Revival and the Big Day. I was going to say something else.
The big day?
No, I confused the two. The Bailey Charlotte match was really short. Probably
That was probably the
shortest
shortest match. Yeah, it was. The ending though for the Seth Braun match. I mean, of course, I had no doubt in my mind that Braun was not going to win that match. Seth was going to win, but the way they did it after the match with the Fiend coming out and laying out Seth was phenomenal. I thought that was the best part. I thought that was probably the second best part of the show.
Yeah, it was good to see the Fiend. Although they're going to overexpose him very fast.
Yeah.
Because now has a Universal title shot, which I don't know what he did to deserve it. He's just selling maybe the most merch
He's
at this
probably
point.
killing the merch game.
But they're going to overexpose him.
Really?
They're putting themselves in a corner where he has to win now.
I kind of think that he should though. Like, I think it's time for a change.
Well,
Enough
people are booing Seth now at this point.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
gonna.
yeah.
Oh, that's the problem with the next pay per view. They're gonna boo the shit out of Seth.
Yeah.
They backed themselves in the corner.
He's-
to have Seth get booed to hell.
Yeah.
At the next pay per view, and it's like, if Seth wins, they're gonna boo the shit out of him. If the Fiend wins, you can only be champion for so long. He's got to lose at some point.
I think he'll lose it at Mania. I think he's gonna have a long reign.
I feel like it's too much too soon. Seth Rollins is fucked in all of this.
Yeah.
I don't see where they can go from here. Okay, so let's say Braun wins. Or I mean, the Fiend wins.
Okay.
Then what?
I think he dominates for 3 months, like murks everybody until Finn Balor comes back.
I think without the belt, he should have dominated for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, they could have done that. They should have done that, but I guess they're putting that rocket ship on his back.
Yeah.
What were you saying earlier about like once WWE finds something that they
Oh, my analogy for that was like if like a little kid tells you a joke and they're like, oh, they tell you a joke and you're like, oh, and it pops the room and everybody laughs and they're like, oh, little kid's like, oh yeah, that made everybody laugh. Yeah, and then you put poop on it. Yeah, and then you put boogers on it, and like they just like, and you're like, okay, all right. It was funny the first time, all right, and like they just they're like, oh shit, the Fiend is making money, the Fiend's popular, and they just put it in your face, and you're like, oh god, no more, no, don't do this, no.
I feel like that's where it's gonna go.
No, it's a lot of it. But if he is the title, he should pull like a semi-Brock and defend it only at pay-per-views or...
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Less is more.
Less is more. Yeah, I
I
agree.
think we all agree with that, right?
What if-
Less is more.
What if we get a different wrinkle in the Bray Wyatt character where he'll lose the Universal title, but as the Firefly Funhouse host version of him?
I hope not,
Oh.
because that's too Finn. That's too Finn Balor, right? That's the whole Finn Balor shtick. Where as a when he's not the demon, you can beat his ass, but when he's demon, he's still undefeated at this point. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's just one way to get out of him holding the title. But yeah, I agree. It could come off a little too Finn Balor-ish.
Like
It's
Bizarro Finn Balor.
Yeah, they backed themselves kind of into a corner. It's gonna be interesting to see how they deal with this. I mean, it's like we were saying, Seth is gonna get booed to hell, or the Fiend's gonna win, but then how is he gonna lose eventually? And
I'm curious to see where it goes.
yeah,
I hope he does get at this point. Now he has to win the title, so I hope they strap it on and let him run with it for a while.
I 1000% agree, but I really wish he wasn't already in the
I
title.
hear more talk about how could they get through this match without like Seth beating the Fiend, but also the Fiend not beating Seth and not doing any switch or whatever.
Because it's Hell in a Cell. There's no
There's no way.
there's no
It's like-
no DQ where they can get out of it. Where like the Fiend, goes unless they do like a no contest.
Which is
I
what
feel
they
like
did
there's a
last
lot
year.
of talk of
they
like
did
how,
do that last year.
They
huh?
did that last year
How
with
could they get
with
out of this?
Roman and Braun.
Yeah,
Where they just that's such a stupid finish. Though.
And that was my thing with this Hell in a Cell match, is that it should be like, it should not just be a gimmick match where just because it's October and you have a Hell in a Cell match, you have to have a Hell in a Cell match just for the sake of having Hell in a Cell. It should be, you said this earlier, and I've said this before many times, it should be the accumulation of a blood feud. Like, this is where the feud is going to end.
Yeah, which they tried to do at the end, at the last pay-per-view with Becky and Sasha, where maybe they do need to be in Hell in a Cell because they went up and they fought in the audience. They fought. Fucking Becky Lynch had mustard on her back. It was the whole thing, dude.
right. And it's like they can't be contained, so they got to go in the cell.
Oh, I just wanted I want to dip a hot dog on her back.
Ooh.
I don't want to get banned for life though.
And speaking of that,
Remember that?
Oh, man.
We forgot to talk about that in the
Yes,
news.
that's
but
important, but that's a great segue there.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you mentioned that part. So during the Becky Sasha match, they were brawling throughout the crowd, and as Becky was tossing Sasha over the barricade into the main ring, there was a fan who was in the front row. It looked like that he was trying to take a selfie, and he was waving his hand, and it looked like from a distance that he might have touched her butt, or pretty close to touching her butt.
he went for it.
He did. He definitely absolutely went for it, and there was no mistake in what he was trying to do. The camera caught him right then and there, and it was posted throughout social media. And apparently, someone had tagged Sasha on that post, on one of the posts, and she made a comment saying that I'm going to sue whoever did that. So she was not happy about that at all, and I can't blame her whatsoever.
I don't think it's okay.
No.
In anyone's right mind to try to grab a female wrestler or a wrestler in general
Yeah.
where they shouldn't be touched. I get that sometimes a wrestler might go by you and you'll slap them on the back or give them a high five or something. But to go straight for the ass, I know we've all thought about it, but you're not supposed to do that.
No,
bro.
that's a big no-no. And it's just like how some of the fans they get a little too inebriated or too ballsy, and they try to jump in the ring, and they try to start a fight only to get their asses beat by by the wrestlers or even by the ref.
Or you go try to tackle Bret Hart, and guess what? Now Dash Dawson's is busting your face open, bro.
That's fucked up.
And it's with some of these fans, like they ruin it for everyone else. I hope. That person, whoever did do that, if they're banned, rightfully so, they deserve to get banned.
You
And
know what? On second look,
Banned for
what?
it's not that bad.
I
think
tried to defend it. He went for it,
He
though.
went
Yeah,
for
you
it.
think so?
Dude,
It's not
take
like
a
he's-
look.
He's not like sticking a thumb.
What
up there,
what
or
else?
You know
What
what?
else is he trying to
There
do?
was
What else
the
was he trying to do?
tap her thigh or like, hey, what's up on the back?
Come on.
There was the video like a year and a half ago or something where Nia Jax was carrying out. You know what I'm talking
I said
about?
I said this in our chat earlier, but yeah.
and was carrying out Alexa Bliss, and someone reached up and smacked Alexa Bliss's.
Oh,
ass.
that's
I remember
right.
that.
It was a
Yes.
kid.
Yeah.
It was a kid.
It was a kid.
and you could hear Alexa Bliss like, "Someone just slapped my ass," and like,
So are they gonna ban that kid for life? Where's the line?
for life.
where is the line? You better start banning everybody that does something like that.
Right,
but
right.
obviously that maybe they'll give the kid a pass because he doesn't know any better. But
Right.
this guy should know better.
He's a grown ass
Absolutely.
man. He's a grown ass. Even then, even if you're right, even if you are trying to touch her back, you got to realize she's a female, and it's not the climate to even try stupid shit like that.
What if it was a hot chick grabbing Finn Balor's ass?
I would still have a problem with
Right?
I'd grab
Yeah.
Finn Balor's ass.
For the
What if
sake
it was
of
a hot Brad?
For the sake of it
He
being
is-
a double
what
standard.
if?
He's the big Brad booty daddy.
What if Brad was hot? What the fuck?
What if?
Well,
Dude, don't
I let
listen.
him
Don't
grab-
listen to Drew, dude. You're hot, dude.
Well,
You're
less
hot.
than-
You're hot, bro.
Less than the days. Don't grab girls' asses when it's not
On
appropriate.
camera, dude.
What if-
Especially
Imagine
okay.
getting Me Too'd on Monday Night Raw.
Oh,
your
that
life
guy's
is over,
fucked.
bro.
You're fucked,
Okay,
dude.
they're crowd surfing on their back, and you have to grab somewhere, and the ass is right there.
Okay, that's yeah.
That's
okay.
a little different.
because you're
No.
crowd surfing. You're going in with the intention of getting
Right.
touched.
Yeah.
You're crowd surfing. I'm punching you right in the middle of your back.
That's different.
Fuck you. You're very heavy, and I don't want to be supporting you.
I'm here to
You're
see the
getting a
show.
punch to the back. That's what I
hilarious.
do. So if you see me at a concert, don't even think about crowd surfing because you're gonna get punched in the back. Okay.
Yeah, fuck you, Mark Hoppus. Just kidding. I love you.
Okay. Anything else? I think
No.
we got Clash Champions. Out
I
of
just
the way.
want to. I just want to say real quick, going back to that incident. I just hope that this doesn't become a pattern where WWE eventually they get too overreactive, and they start and they start implementing like banning like fans touching the wrestlers. They got to keep their hands to themselves just because of this. I hope it's just an incident that's just alone by itself.
Hopefully,
An
yeah.
isolated
And
incident.
isolated. There you go. And it's just that and nothing else.
Because what if this makes them be like, okay, no more fighting in the crowd because you might get touched where you don't want to be touched.
Oh,
so
God.
no more fighting in the
Don't
crowds.
Start all that shit.
Yeah, whatever.
My opinion is banned for life.
I second that. I second that.
All right.
Any highlights from Raw or Smackdown?
Let's get into Raw and SmackDown.
I don't really remember much.
I feel like Clash of Champions was so far away, and Raw kind of feels that much closer. One thing I didn't like was Braun Strowman destroying the Raw and SmackDown champions by
Good
himself.
God, could they have put someone else in that spot? For God's sakes, I
Yeah.
mean they. What was the intention of like we're gonna have a tag team summit, right? So if that's in the script, like okay, let's have the two tag team guys out there go out there and talk about what? About how they're the tag team champions.
Exactly.
It had no point. It's just like totally contrived. And it's like they had to have known Braun Strowman said the next people in the ring, or the next person in the ring, I'm going to kick their ass in so many words or whatever. Could they put anybody in that spot? He just took both tag divisions in at one time and destroyed them both.
What?
All in the
Who does
sense-
that help?
Anybody could
Who
have
does
been
that
there.
help? Does-
Besides
all
Braun.
in the sense of rehabbing Braun. If you were going to rehab Braun, there would have been a better way of doing that instead of burying your entire
have him go
tag
fuck
division.
up some 205 live match.
And I feel like he's done this every time. He's 0-6 or whatever it is in Universal Title Championship matches.
Damn, that's
And-
a lot.
And
He
I
has
swear,
0-6.
I
He has not
feel
won.
like every Monday after the match, he kicks someone's ass like in the ring. I'm not gonna destroy whatever.
that go in the ring, I'm gonna break your face and I'm gonna.
oh wait,
No,
no, that's
that's-
Stone
That's
Cold.
Austin, but
Hold on.
but we get the point though.
But like it's the same thing.
You know
But
what? They're booking him like a little bitch or a loser.
Yeah.
Temper tantrum. Why don't you grow up, Braun?
yeah.
And then it just shits all over both
How
tag
are you
divisions.
supposed to like that guy? Like as a dude, like
Right.
this dude's upset about losing,
Right.
and he's gonna go murder 4 people at the same time.
Yeah.
They
Get
were just
over it.
they were just
How am I
hanging
gonna-
out.
How am I gonna get behind someone like that? I don't know.
And he
I
got
didn't like
bit.
that
And he
at all.
got beat fair and square against Seth.
Yeah, it wasn't like there was any. You just got beat, bro.
Which is a whole different thing.
Like,
Like why
I-
they book it like that.
I
but-
loved
Yeah.
that it took that many curb stomps and a pedigree. It took 4 curb stomps and a pedigree to put down Braun. That's a way to lose and still look strong.
Right.
Not to come out the next night and throw a fit and destroy the tag team
Dude,
champions.
throw Jinder Mahal out there. Who
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
cares? Throw someone else out
Yeah,
there.
have dumbass Jinder go out there, offer
They
an
could've
open challenge,
done something.
and then I challenge whoever comes through that curtain, and then Braun comes out and he destroys him.
They could have done something cool there. Be like, hey, I heard Braun say he's gonna kick whoever's ass is out in the ring. Well, come out here and try it with me then, or
Yeah,
whatever.
or
Could've
even-
been like, oh shit, cool.
Cut to Jinder Mahal talking to the the Bollywood boys,
Right.
and then making fun of how he's never won the Universal title,
And I'll see you in the ring.
and then he goes out there and
You're going to get these hands.
it's a very
It's-
thin veil between him and Stone Cold.
It's
Very
an underlying problem with Braun in that like we mentioned, he has not won against whoever was a champion. How can you take him serious after this? He cannot win the big one.
Well, my problem isn't so much with that. My problem is that he went out and destroyed the tag champions on both brands.
Right.
Because they're trying to make him look strong,
Well-
which is the wrong thing. Which is fine to do, but don't have it cost your tag divisions.
That's what we're saying. Like, you should have gone out there and fucked up Jinder Mahal. You go fuck up a B team and Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins that are trying to have a match.
There were so many things that were like contrived and weird about this thing.
Yeah.
So, like the advertised segment was, oh, they're gonna have a tag team summit. So
What is a tag team
in
summit? First of all,
kayfabe, if Braun hadn't have said that, what were they gonna do when both of those tag teams came out?
there was no way for that segment to end in a
Right.
good way.
What was gonna happen? So it didn't make sense in so many ways. I hated it.
On another note, I think what you're looking at right now, Drew, was probably the biggest story of Raw, right?
I agree. The King of the Ring finals: Baron Corbin versus Chad Gable. Baron Corbin, for all of his faults, had a great King of the Ring
Yeah.
tournament. He is your new King of the Ring. All it includes is a crown and a scepter and a cape. No title shot, I guess.
Nope.
But he is your King of the Ring. We jokingly said Bobby picked Baron Corbin because we didn't think Baron Corbin had a chance, and look at him now. What did you guys think? I thought this was a great match. I think Chad Gable lost, but valiantly.
Right.
He put on a great match for all the little shorty jokes, and you came up a little short there. I thought this was a great showing for Chad Gable. And Baron Corbin, Vince has a boner for him. So.
And the crowd was definitely into Gable. They really wanted to see Chad Gable win, even though they probably knew deep down that Baron was going to win that match. He was going to be the King of the Ring winner.
Yes.
The crowd was still into that match. They really wanted to see that upset. This whole tournament, like from the beginning to end, has been very good in ring. In ring wise, it's probably one of the better King of the Ring tournaments I've seen. Phenomenal work. Chad Gable especially has shown that he could still go. Like, I mean, people, they may have forgotten about him. You can't forget about him now.
Yeah, I love the finish of this where he went for like a tilt-a-whirl and then Baron Corbin turned it into the End of Days. I thought that was a great way to shut down the little high flyer and hit him with a big power move. I'm not a fan of Baron Corbin winning, but I get it, and I'm excited to see what they do because Corbin really hasn't done anything since he lost in that mixed tag match with Lacey Evans.
Right.
Yeah, that's a while ago, too.
And yeah, that was a while ago. So it's good to see. Maybe they have something for him, but I feel like this is just going to go the same way that Sheamus and Wade Barrett went when they won King of the Ring.
I feel like as wrestling fans, we saw all the different people that were in that bracket, and we thought about all the cool matchups. With Buddy Murphy and all the different guys. That were in there. Andrade, we're like, oh man, that'd be really cool. But in hindsight, like to me, I'm like, oh shit, I should have predicted Baron Corbin was gonna. It was perfect.
You're right.
For a Baron Corbin type character to win this kind of shit.
In
so
hindsight,
he
yeah.
could talk a lot of shit or whatever. And yes, this match was great, and I saw. Chad Gable was a perfect like supporting actor for Baron Corbin. That's how I looked at Chad Gable.
Yeah.
He's great. He was really good, and we all agree he's a great wrestler, but in this case, I just looked at him as a supporting actor for Baron Corbin to do his thing, and he did great. I do not like Baron Corbin, but the last month he did a really good job, and he's really stepped his game up. And he's not wearing that damn button-up shirt and fucking vest.
Yeah, he doesn't look like an Applebee's waiter anymore. He looks like an Applebee's waiter that is going to the gym now.
Yes. Or smoking outside on his break.
That too, yeah.
He's throwing out the trash on his 15-minute
Yeah.
break.
Man, he got some chants. He got some "Let's Go Corbin" chants.
I was
Yeah.
surprised by that.
Yeah, he's winning over the IWC a little bit.
There it is.
Still not on board. The thing that infuriated me the most was the Maria gender reveal party, the Jinder Mahal reveal party. This was easily the worst thing I've seen on Raw all year,
And that's saying a lot.
and that's it because I've seen a lot.
Probably
of
one of the
bad
worst
shit on
things
Raw.
I've seen in wrestling so far.
Honestly, you're 1,000% right. This did no favors for anybody. It made Mike Kanellis look like the word. They buried him. So I don't use the word burial that much, but I feel like they are on a mission to bury Mike Kanellis in this. You had Michael Cole loudly say Mike Kanellis is a loser, straight up. With you had
Corey
Graves calling him a beta cuck,
which is unheard of because I would have never thought they would ever use that term cuck on WWE TV.
Right? What 10-year-old is at home knowing what a cuck is?
Wow.
Basically, Maria said, "You're not the father of my baby." Rusev, who we haven't seen in a really long time, is the father of my baby, which also doesn't make sense because he's very clearly, and if you follow social media or you watch Total Divas, know anything about wrestling, Rusev and Lana are a couple. They are engaged to be married, and why is Rusev being brought back in this capacity to go fuck up Mike Kanellis in this instance?
Although on the bright side of this, Rusev looked phenomenal.
Oh, Rusev
he looked like
awesome.
he was in the best shape of his life.
Yeah, he's trimmed down a lot, but he's still like a big slab of meat.
Yeah, mustache too.
Yeah, with a mustache as well.
Do you think they gave him like the stepdad look on purpose?
Yeah.
I think so.
He just needs a whole look.
Yeah,
you
he
know,
needed to try
makeover.
something completely
But
different.
to have him return,
Shaved chest, like man, that guy was like a hairy-chested, barrel-chested
Yeah.
dude.
yeah. But to have him return to this angle though,
And
it's doing him no favors.
It did nothing for him. I
Nope.
feel like the crowd was even dead when he was back. I feel like the crowd forgot about him, honestly. But to mix him up in this storyline, and I feel like Maria's just going to say a new guy is her baby dad every week, which where is this going? What is the point of all this? This is like a shitty version of Jerry Springer.
It really was, and I really also feel real bad for Ricochet being involved in any
my God.
of
Oh,
this,
yeah.
man.
Ricochet
Like,
should be nowhere near any of this.
when they went
Yes.
backstage for the shoot for the baby reveal, and you could look at all the goofs, the nerds that were backstage, and
Jobber.
Titus
Oh, the
O'Neil
B
and-
team. Oh,
B
cool.
team,
Zack Ryder.
whatever. The first thing I thought watching this by myself is when I saw Ricochet, I literally said out loud to myself, "What the fuck's he doing there?"
I
was
thought
just
the same
Yeah.
thing, dude.
Why is he there? No, please don't start involving him in this stupid shit.
Oh, Alicia Fox.
Like,
Good to see her.
God
in.
damn it! Like this guy went from like one of the greatest takeover matches I've ever seen. Like remember Adam Cole and Ricochet
Oh,
like
yeah,
last
baby,
summer.
yeah.
Oh
Anyway-
my god! To fucking a gender reveal party, I was just like,
With a hat and a little like
Oh, my God.
party blower thing.
I couldn't believe Ricochet was involved with this at all. I was so disappointed with that.
And I think that this was more so to send a message to Mike and to Maria. Like, you guys resigned, you guys did it for the money. That's fine. I'm glad you guys resigned, but these are the storylines, and this is what the angles that you're going to come up with. And that's
Nobody wants to see this.
nobody
kind of
wants to
stuff.
see that exactly. And it's definitely more so to embarrass him and to try to make him humble for the fact that he signed with WWE. Like, your ass is ours, basically.
Yeah, we're gonna show you to get pregnant after we re-sign you after you made a big deal about us and our whatever. Apparently Vince McMahon wasn't even backstage this week. That was all Paul Heyman.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Lacey Evans, Dana Brooke just need to.
Yeah.
I don't
Whatever.
Lacey Evans can go back to NXT. Dana Brooke, hang it up, dude. I was not a fan of this.
Hang it up, dude.
I don't.
That should be your quote right there, dude.
There it is. Hang it up,
T-shirt
dude.
right there. Hang it up, dude.
Let's get into SmackDown now because Raw after that was just a shit show. Mostly a shit show. I didn't like Raw really at all. What did you guys think about SmackDown? Honestly, there's only one big story coming out
I
of
think that
this.
story's huge.
And they started off huge right away because they did open it with the 6-man tag match. So at least they started off huge and not with the promo. The 6-man tag was good, but it definitely led to Brock debuting on SmackDown. We haven't seen Brock on SmackDown in a long time.
Since he lost at WrestleMania, we haven't seen him on WWE at all, let alone SmackDown. SmackDown might be longer.
I think probably the last time we saw him on SmackDown was probably 2004, I want to say.
when he's feuding with Eddie.
Yeah, I think that was probably the last time.
So we got Paul Heyman comes out and introduced Brock Lesnar, who wants the WWE title. And sorry, Kofi, this is where your road ends with that title.
Yeah, I see Vince McMahon and his theory on it is in case of emergency, Brock Glass.
Oh.
Brock Lesnar.
I was like, hey, fucker, you said break wrong. I was like, oh, never mind. You got it. You got it. But you know what that means? Bye-bye, Kofi. It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
God
At
damn
this
it, it's
point-
over.
You know what though? I might be too premature to say this, but Kofi had a great run. He had a great run from WrestleMania on. It just can't last. It's not going to last forever.
An obituary for him.
It's just not going to. It's just not. You know, that's not going to last forever though.
run.
Kofi being champion is not going to last forever. It's going to be. It was only a matter of time before he was going to lose the belt.
But why to Brock?
They went about it.
They want a big name.
For the money at Fox and
They
all
want
that stuff.
they want a big
Fox-
sports name.
Fox does want Brock Lesnar on
Yeah.
SmackDown.
And I think it's the best move, honestly. My dream booking is Big E gets it back for the New Day, which would be amazing.
he slays the beast for Kofi.
Yeah,
I would be on board with that.
He deserves that shot.
The rumor I heard was that Brock Lesnar gets paid more from Fox to wrestle on that show than he would for the network and doing the periodic stuff or whatever.
Well, then the
I don't know
title's
if
going to
that's
him.
the case or
I
whatever.
wouldn't be surprised at all because Fox they want a big name and they were going to try to go for Ronda, but Ronda's not ready yet. So Brock was going to be the second best option.
Yeah.
And you have to go with Brock on that one. I mean, because he's been on Raw for ever since he came back from ever since this draft, ever since the initial brand split started. He's always been on Raw, so it's nice to have a nice change of scenery and have Brock go against SmackDown superstars.
Yeah, and like you said, exactly. Who can he fight on SmackDown other than Kofi? That he
Roman.
hasn't kind of fought already.
Daniel
yeah.
Bryan. Damn.
He's fought both those guys
yeah, he's
already.
fucked them both up.
Oh yeah, especially Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
You guys remember that Brock Lesnar fought Kofi Kingston 1-on-1 at the Beast of the East special?
Yes, I remember
shit,
that.
I
Remember
forgot
that?
about
And
that.
and Brock destroyed the New Day.
Destroyed him.
Oh
and
my
the New
God,
Day
yeah,
in
you're
like
yes,
a
right.
minute.
You're right. I remember
like
that.
a minute long. Yeah, you're right.
We already saw.
I'm
this
gonna watch
match.
that shit. You're right.
and
Never
that was when the New Day were heels,
mind. Oh yeah.
and Brock was kind of like a tweener at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, he beat him in like a minute.
That's
So
right.
We've already seen this match.
So we
You're
have
right.
seen this match.
I'm over it.
And it might be even shorter now.
Kevin Owens is suing Shane McMahon for $25 million.
Kayfabe.
But if Kevin Owens wins a lawsuit, Shane McMahon is fired. Don't know how that makes sense.
That's weird.
You would think this is going to end up leading to Hell in a Cell
This should be the thing that goes in Hell in a Cell. Absolutely.
because I'm looking at this feud, and this feud has been going on for far too long, to the point where like, okay, let's end the feud, have it inside Hell in a Cell, and then after that, no more.
I see the feud and the lawsuit ending in a match. I see the lawsuit ending in a match.
Yeah.
That's what I see. I don't know.
The judge ruled in favor of Shane McMahon, but you got to have a match to see who wins.
That just screams Vince Russo booking.
Yeah, and I think at this point we could put as far as me, we could put the the comparisons to Stone Cold Steve Austin to rest at this point
Yes.
because
Right.
there's so many things that Stone Cold would not have done that Kevin Owens is doing, but begging to not be fined and
You think
suing.
The Texas rattlesnake would go to a judge and sue Shane McMahon's ass. I'm going to stomp a mud hole in that ass.
Yeah,
You
none
would
of this
not.
would happen. The only thing we have now is that Kevin Owens has the stunner. That's
Okay.
it. That is the only comparison now.
Why-
That and that he's like up against the Authority. That's it. All the other comparisons are out the window now.
if Kevin Owens is suing Shane McMahon for $25 million, why do you want to keep wrestling so bad for? You just won $25 million. You don't have to work anymore,
Yeah,
bro.
retire. That's
Why,
it.
retire. Like, what's the problem?
Although I'm sure after taxes he's probably getting like 16, 17 million, but still though, that's still a lot of money.
It's a lot more than the $100,000 that he was fined and that started all of this.
and then he was desperate.
And, like, I don't want to get into a deeper conversation than this, but like, that's
Keep it kayfabe.
The Attitude Era back then. Vince McMahon could have sued Stone Cold for pouring concrete in his Corvette, and like that's the difference between 20, 25 years ago versus now is like everybody gets punished for everything they do instead of just like fuck you, I'm not fucking gonna
I know
pay
that-
you
I'm-
and I'm gonna stun your ass.
I'm glad you brought up something like that because Stone Cold, in his feud with Vince McMahon, he took ownership of the company. He outsmarted Vince and Shane to be the majority owner for WWE.
Yeah.
And when it was time for him to return the ownership back to Vince and Shane, he put himself in a title match.
Right.
And it worked out. And he became
Yeah.
champion after that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how you book a babyface, is you make the babyface look strong and not make him look very
make
weak.
him look cool. Like if Becky Lynch just like touched a referee on Sunday and $10,000 fine or whatever. kayfabe $10,000 fine.
Right.
It's like that's if you're gonna punish everybody for everything that they're doing, it doesn't make them seem cool, you know?
And it's like they're picking and choosing as far as who gets fined, who doesn't get fined according to the rules.
Yeah.
A couple other things that happened on SmackDown. Otis from Heavy Machinery is now no longer in a singlet.
Delicious.
Do they just want to make him look goofy, or like what's the point of this?
Fuck yeah. I think when he took
Let that belly breathe.
he took his 2 straps down like the week before, and I think Vince was like, oh yeah.
No more
Some more.
Stakes and weights.
Look at that beef.
Yeah.
Kofi Kingston and Brock Lesnar is official. I'm just reading this right now for the debut on Fox.
Interesting.
So they're not even going to wait for the pay-per-view. They're just going to go right into it.
I'm with that 100%.
That's
do it, Fox.
That's what you want to. You want to have the biggest match you can for the debut episode on Fox.
Which
Yeah.
is kind of opposite of what's going to be our main event topic tonight, which is NXT. So like
Yeah. So I mean that's a big thing that's going to happen. We'll have the eulogy for Kofi Kingston the following week. Just make sure everyone gets their speeches ready.
Right.
Dan O'Brien it looks like he's back to being a babyface. What do you guys think?
tweener type.
Or is he just taking the beating so Roman doesn't suspect that he is the higher power?
He's getting his ass
Dan O'Brien's
beat,
a higher
though.
power. It's all a swerve. I think it's a swerve.
Or the
If-
Fiend.
I think it's a swerve for Dan O'Brien and for Rowan
He's
and
like-
Harper to join up.
Goes back to our Scream theory. I'll get hurt just to make it look like I'm not the culprit, but I'm really the culprit.
And I mentioned it. I think I mentioned this last week with how back in the day where Flair and Sting would team up, and Sting was a stupid babyface as well. Not once, but multiple times, where he would team up with Ric Flair of all people, and when Flair was feuding with the Horsemen, he would pretend to get his ass beat by Arn and Tully and Ole, have him set up in a tag match, and only for Ric Flair to turn on him and drop the bait and have the Horsemen reunite and to beat up Sting. I could see something almost exactly like that.
I could see this happening. Only difference is it's Roman Reigns, and he's going to destroy all 3 of them in one fight. I could see that happening.
Superman
I think
punch.
eventually, yes, but
Superman
Yeah.
that would be
Spear.
that would be even dumber if they did that
Superman
in one match.
Roman Reigns defeats all 3 people in one fucking.
God damn it. No.
Yeah.
No.
It's going to happen, dude. Get ready.
You put that curse on us, dude.
Strap in, strap on, whatever you do. But Roman Reigns is going to destroy Dan O'Brien, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan, and they're going to be back to.
God.
And then they're going to go chase after the 24/7 title.
Luke Harper. Hey, what do you guys think about them having 3 different returns like in the same week? They had Rusev on Raw. They had Eric Rowan, who I guess is on SmackDown, and I guess we'll get into NXT. But on NXT, they had Leo Rush. Three people that
That's-
had like disgruntled problems with the company, and I think they're trying to keep them from going elsewhere. Those were literally 3 people that had problems with
They
the company.
all
and-
had problems.
They
with the
did,
company.
yeah.
and
Holy
they,
shit.
they all came back, and I think they're trying to, in the past I think they would punish those type of people, or keep them off TV. And
Oh,
I think-
absolutely.
I think they're trying to wrangle them back in and kind of hold them close.
It's
Because those 3 would be a great get for AEW or any
I mean,
other
need it.
especially
Easily.
if you're holding their contracts or extending their contracts out, just use them.
Yeah.
You might as well put them to use.
I think they took
you-
the disgruntled employees and held
Made
them
'em-
close this week.
made him gruntled.
and you need talent, especially with SmackDown going to be 2 hours, and if they do have it, make it a
SmackDown
3
is always
hours.
2 hours, no?
But if what I'm saying is that if they make it a 3-hour show,
Oh God, no,
which is
please.
what Fox planned,
stop.
what they want to do,
It's going to happen.
you're going to need as much talent as you can to fill 3 hours. And even right now with 2 hours, you want to have as much talent as you can to fill up the shows. And now that NXT is going to be 2 hours long, you need talent as well
Whoa.
to fill that show
Well,
as
I
well.
thought NXT did a great job of not overusing everyone at once.
Well, get ready, because once 2 hours comes,
Yeah.
you're going to see everybody on board. Another thing that they've said this week on Raw and SmackDown, the wild card rule is done. It is no more.
Good God.
Thank
fuck
God.
yes.
They're
Can
actually
you
going to
te-
stick to a brand split, which really, how long is that going to last?
I don't know, but can you
month.
guys even tell who's on whose brand right
Oh,
now?
I have no idea.
At all? I mean, like, the Revival are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
They're from Raw, right?
Are they from Raw?
I don't know.
Last
know
I
either.
checked, they're on Raw.
Because they lost the tag championships to the Good Brothers.
yeah, the Good Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that means they were on Raw.
Right.
Yes.
But now they're the SmackDown champs.
Right.
So who knows anymore?
I don't know. What does that
Well,
mean?
we'll all find out come draft time because once the draft happens, whoever's being drafted to whoever brand, they're going to be on that brand.
Yeah, and they're going to stay there. So the big dog is going back to Raw. I don't know how they're.
I think he's going to stay on SmackDown because they want to have as much top stars on SmackDown for right now because it's
But Raw is the baby.
It is the baby, but you got to remember SmackDown's on Fox and Fox is on network TV. They're going to
That's
draw more
true.
eyeballs.
That's true.
And
You're right.
they really
All the
want
Do you
to.
think SmackDown's going to be the A show?
It could be.
I don't know. All the commercials I've seen during football,
They
is like
got to do
Roman
everything they can to
Reigns.
make it the A show.
Those are badass commercials. Actually.
Those commercials make
Yeah.
me proud to be a wrestling fan. I
Yeah,
was like,
they did a really good
Yeah.
job with those.
show
Those are really
these
cool.
show these idiots out there that wrestling is fake. Show them that. Look at us now.
But
You were watching football and watching us.
But you know what though? I see a pattern though that they've done though is whenever whenever they do the brand split again, SmackDown in the beginning is the A show, or at least is the better show between Raw and SmackDown. And then once they realize that Raw is declining in the ratings, they're gonna go back to making Raw big, making Raw number one, and then SmackDown's gonna suffer. I think for this one they can't do that because now that SmackDown is on Fox, that is going to be their A show, no matter what Vince thinks in his mind.
We are on the cusp of so many different things that could happen because NXT is just on fire right now, and that could potentially change the way that Raw and SmackDown handle their shows and they're wrestlers.
Yeah, because if you watched NXT, which was live for the first time this week, which we're going to cover, that made Raw and SmackDown look like total trash as a wrestling fan.
Right. You watch Velveteen Dream and
Oh my God,
that match
Roderick
was
Strong.
And Roderick Strong. You look at that. And then you look at Maria Kanellis and Mike Kanellis and just
Two
compare
total
the two.
opposites.
It's two
and
total
you're like,
different,
What
yeah.
the fuck?
It's different flavors for sure.
God.
And dude, even the fact that they were like, okay, our first 2 hours NXT on live TV, let's put the women out there, and the women that
First.
went out there and fucking showed off to no end. Candice LeRae is the new number one contender. What do you guys think? I mean, just on those two matches alone, that was more than the price of admission, I think.
Right. Bianca Belair is the beast, motherfucking beast. I think she
Yes.
needs to be a title holder. She's gonna be big on the main roster too because her personality is amazing.
Yeah, total Cardi B character.
Right. And-
Easy to love, easy to hate.
And just by those two matches, and actually just that whole first hour that was on USA.
Yes,
Like I said,
they loaded it.
bye bye AEW.
Oh,
it's
man, yeah?
over. It's over.
AEW hasn't
I
started
agree
yet,
with
dude.
you,
That's what I'm
man.
saying. That's what I'm saying. It's over.
No, well,
Right.
Shit.
We were just talking about the three different flavors, right? You see, NXT is the wrestling fans show, right?
Yes.
yes.
And then you have your bullshit show, which is Raw and SmackDown for the casuals and the people who love drama. Like I love
The
that
commercial
too.
for NXT
I
literally
watched-
said no BS. And
Right.
Yeah.
I watched SmackDown with my mother-in-law, and she gets it. Oh, I
See?
don't like
See?
Shane McMahon.
Perfect. Different
Yeah.
flavors. NXT is taking that flavor that AEW is supposed to try to get, right? And NXT is not only really good at it, they're far better.
Okay, let me ask you guys both a question then, because NXT and AEW, they're going to cater to the hardcore fans. Can they attract the casual fan to come in?
Well, they don't have
That's
to.
going to be.
They don't have
What
to.
do you mean they don't have to?
They don't have to because NXT did a 1.2 rating on Wednesday
Right.
night.
1.2 million. They got 1.2 million viewers.
Yes.
I don't think that AEW is going to attract the casual viewer because I'm a casual viewer and I can't get attracted to the show because unless I'm watching all these YouTube videos and everything, I don't know what's going on.
Right.
And like if my mother, I keep using my mother-in-law as an example, but if my mother-in-law will watch AEW and have absolutely no fucking idea what's going on at all.
Right.
If I don't know what's going on and I'm a wrestling fan, she would have no. So the casual viewer thing is just to me is out the window.
So
they're not going
agree,
to
100%.
They're not
on,
gonna get it.
on Wednesday nights, what are you watching? AEW or NXT?
NXT
NXT
100%.
by a million.
Even the first episode of AEW, you're not interested.
I'll record it and I'll watch it on
Yeah,
Saturday.
Wow, I'm actually the opposite. I think AEW is going to be the one to watch because I'm intrigued. I'm interested. I think what happened here. I think WWE was smart. I think Triple H was smart. I think AEW was like, we're going to go head to head with WWE. And they were expecting a right hook from WWE. And Triple H just came with an uppercut right to them. And they didn't even see
over.
NXT coming because NXT fucking delivered. And these are the guys that put on the matches that we, the hardcore fans, love. I also think that AEW and NXT are going to split that 1.2 come the first Wednesday.
You think so?
I absolutely think
Think
so.
about this though. NXT's like, you know what? It's our first show. We won't even put Adam Cole match yet. He's the champion.
I forgot about that.
He's
Yeah,
the
they
champion.
didn't- yeah.
That's why the casuals.
Yeah, and Gargano wasn't even on the show.
Boom, and Ciampa's
Yeah.
coming back.
Yeah.
So think about like they're not going for the casuals. They're going
Yeah.
for the guys who are supposed to be going for AEW.
Yeah.
So that's why they don't need
This is
that
a total
casual.
uppercut from
And
WWE.
it's
Over.
dude.
That's what I like. I knew like Triple H got the complete book. That whole intro, I was already hyped.
Well, it's
I
not
was
over
screaming.
yet till we
Fuck
see what
yeah, I
AEW
agree.
does. Like, let's just wait until October 2nd.
I
Let's
agree.
do that because we don't know yet. You're a little too quick to jump on saying AEW's done. They haven't even done their first show yet.
I wouldn't
Let's
say they're
just see.
done, but they should be a little.
I
It'll
wouldn't
be a
say they're
challenge,
done.
though. I agree.
I
It'll be a
wouldn't say
challenge, but
that-
they're not done because
Well,
they haven't done it yet.
My
They haven't
theory is
started.
this. My theory is this. Like, for the longest time, I don't know if anyone's a basketball fan or anything. Kobe Bryant was the greatest basketball player at a 5-year period or whatever. And there was other guys like Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, all these other contenders who I wanted to believe was better than Kobe Bryant because
In the past 20 years, Kobe was the best player.
no, hold on. But yeah, but during that era, there's other players who came contenders or competition. They had all the skills and the flash and the talent, but deep down, Kobe was the guy, and I think that's what NXT is, right? So everybody knows NXT is going to be that brand. I think they're going to outdo AEW. What AEW is doing, they're going to do it better.
I will say, NXT looked very small as far as arena wise.
Right.
Yes.
It looked tiny compared to what the buildings that are selling out for AEW are going to look like.
Right.
I will also say that the AEW roster is a lot older than this NXT roster. So if a couple key people go down in AEW, that's going to be really bad
Right.
for them.
And you guys saw NXT, right? That small arena, it was kind of hot.
I love NXT.
It was a hot crowd.
Right.
I'd much rather watch
It
a
was-
small
they
hot
had
crowd.
They had that bald guy.
Yeah, God, fucking goof. I'd much rather watch a small hot crowd than a larger, less hot crowd.
I agree.
No, but these are the fans that sold it out within minutes. These fans are going to be hot all
yeah,
night.
yeah. It
Easily.
made me hyped to watch the crowd. How intense
The-
they got. Like, when Velveteen Dream kicked out of that End of Heartache and the
Oh.
crowd went nuts.
Yeah.
I was just like at home, like, oh my god.
Yeah,
The
ECW
the
days
first
for
hour,
sure.
Dude,
the first hour was
awesome.
definitely hot. The crowd was definitely hot. The first hour, the second hour, it looked like they may have died down a little bit, but they were still good nonetheless.
Well,
though
you got that. That was a match. Congrats to the Undisputed Era. They are draped in gold now.
Yeah.
Roderick Strong beating Velveteen Dream in a fucking instant classic, takeover worthy match.
Right.
They both went out there and tore the house down, and it was a great way to end on NXT. On USA and then go to the network, which a lot of people had problems going to the network because
They
everyone flooded the network
Right.
to switch over.
Right.
And I don't think the servers were ready. A lot of people had to like relog in, and people
or
weren't.
they had to
able
wait till later on, perhaps.
Yeah, I waited till later on because I didn't watch it live.
Yeah,
but
me too.
a lot of people that watched it live had a hard time switching over to the network, and that's only going to be for another week because Suits is having their season finale.
Fucking suits. But
Hence why
Byron,
they
I
did
think
the
you're on.
split.
I think you're onto something, dude. I think really Triple H just like it's almost like he wrote a list of like what do wrestling fans like
Right.
and what they don't like, and he just went down the list like
Exactly.
And it's like he didn't try to pull any tricks like. Like you could see right through Vince McMahon and WWE main roster tricks. Like, oh, let's do this to boost rating. Let's do whatever. And Triple H just like took the ship and just went straight ahead and was like, this works. Good wrestling matches work. They didn't have one interview segment. They didn't have
At
one in ring like you're used to as a wrestling fan watching Raw and SmackDown. The 20-minute long intro of like the champion talking about his challenger or whatever. And it's just like, no, they started with a match. They went through and
On the first hour, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was all wrestling. No interviews, no backstage segments at all. There was no tricks. There was no main roster. Let's get like Seth Rollins on there to boost the ratings or anything like that. There was no tricks. Like the main roster, they have these tricks that you could see right through. And
Like
NXT,
the top of hour 2, we're gonna send out Becky
Right.
Lynch.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
you
Yeah.
can see right through these tricks. And in NXT, it's like this is what works. We send these guys out. They tell a story in the ring, and that's it. Like it's very simple storytelling. And
It's
I loved
beautiful.
it, man.
And they did a lot of old school shit that like AEW fans are gonna appreciate. Like the fact that the faction is running shit. So you have the Undisputed Era running it. There's other X factors.
And
Mauro Ranallo is
I was just gonna say
best.
that.
The best.
Morrow was on his A game.
He's always on his game. I've never seen him have a shitty outing, no matter what he's covering.
But since we're on the topic of commentators, Nigel McGuinness, we don't give him enough credit for what he's done.
Yeah,
Him and Morrow are the best duo in WWE. I mean, you can even say maybe in pro wrestling at the moment.
I agree.
Kick
I
Beth
agree.
Phoenix out. Bye, dude. And then just have them two
You don't-
call the shit.
right.
You don't
right.
need 3 people.
Especially Beth Phoenix, who literally had zero.
She's been a commentator for like 2 minutes.
I
and,
think-
like, what the fuck?
I think anyone who you have with that combination of Morrow and
Morrow
with
and Nigel are the two best.
You don't need a third person. You can put Tony Schiavone in there. You can put anyone in there for that matter. They don't need a third person. Those two are just fine the way they are.
And that's where NXT. Maybe next week we actually think about these things like pros and cons for each
Right,
one, and
right,
we'll go
right.
down and see which one can eventually win this. Because as far as commentators go, NXT has the edge easily.
The number one other thing,
Yes.
video fucking packages. Every
Oh,
video packages
yeah.
they did, that covers what WWE fails to do in like these extended promos that they don't need to do.
Yeah.
These video packages are
Literally in 2 minutes, you can explain the character.
Right.
You can tell me what they believe in, and you can tell me how like
Yeah.
you can show me highlights from the matches. So I'm
Right.
like, oh wow,
Right,
that
okay.
guy's dope as fuck.
Perfect. Okay, tell me who Ember Moon is.
Black girl.
Couldn't tell you who Ember
You-
Moon is.
She
The
has
war
the
goddess.
contact. She
I have
does
no
the
idea.
flipping stunner move.
Okay,
flip.
so-
But I have no idea who she is. I know that Mandy Rose broke her switch and she got mad.
Oh
Right.
God.
That's all I know about her
Right,
recently.
right.
Yeah, but no, I thought it was great. Do you guys like the squash matches? Do you guys like that squash
Yeah,
match
it's
formula?
old school as fuck.
It
Yeah.
helps. It helps because it is technically developmental. So it helps a developmental talent that's on the cusp of coming up to the main NXT roster.
Yeah.
And it helps the whoever's squashing them look strong.
And I also think that the people that they're putting out there to be squashed aren't like you're not like, oh my God. It's not like watching Seth Rollins versus Heath Slater where you're like, okay,
Right.
it's,
Right,
it's a
right.
matter of time.
The guy that fought Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne.
Yeah,
and,
leading into the second
and-
hour
and
on the
Ruha.
network, Antonio Ruas.
Yes.
That was actually a good match. That was a good showing by Ruas to
Like-
introduce people to see what he can actually do.
Yeah,
I didn't
and
hear-
he was great, and he was just kicking. Dude, he kicked.
I didn't hear one short joke.
Yeah,
the whole time.
God, no.
I didn't hear Michael Cole call him a loser.
Yeah.
Right.
They actually did a great job of building him up as like, pay attention to this guy. He's going to be great.
But next time I see Rujas, I'm gonna be like that. I want to see another match from him because he's great. He just happened to lose, but he's a great wrestler.
Right.
But at least
You
he went in there showing that what he can actually do in a losing effort. And I
Right.
think that's worth more than winning a meaningless battle.
Yeah. So I mean, yes, they have squash matches, but they've figured out a way to formulaically like through commentary or
Right.
through their past matches like say that these people have a chance to win, and it draws you in.
Speaking of which, how good did they build up Leo Rush?
Oh, Leo Rush is-
beautiful.
They made Leo Rush not look like
What a
he was
star.
a Bobby Lashley lackey or
Right.
made short jokes about him.
What a star.
They made him seem like, he's finally back and he's being taken seriously.
Dude.
And look at all the shit he can do.
All through presentation. It was all done through presentation. The way that they talked about him, the way that the way he wrestled, his intensity, everything. Did you ever during that match at all think that this dude is like 5'5"?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Not 1 second did you think that.
He
Nope.
You
he
were
put
just
in a lot
watching
of
how
effort
great of
though.
a match it was.
And the crowd was hyped for him. So the NXT crowd is, again, it's a smarter crowd than your SmackDown Raw crowd. So it's over. AEW. It's over.
I'm telling you, they were expecting
over.
a right hook.
It's-
And they got uppercut.
Yeah.
dude.
It's gonna be a challenge for AEW come October 2nd.
Right.
It's definitely gonna be. It's not gonna be an easy battle, but you know what though? I think in the end though, the fans, especially the hardcore fans, they're gonna be in for a treat.
I mean, we all win. I mean, no one wins or loses in this. But the fact that we're going to get, 4 hours of amazing... Like, we're not even going to cover Raw and SmackDown, I don't think, on the show anymore.
I don't know how we're gonna do this come October. I mean,
We're going to have to change formats. We're going to have to
Right.
do Raw and NXT, and then the following week's SmackDown.
I do want to
boy.
mention something real quick though about the second hour of NXT. I thought they did a phenomenal job with Imperium when Imperium debuted.
Oh, yeah, we're still talking about NXT. But yes, great point, Dick. Keep going.
Like the way they came out, they introduced Wolf, Eichner, and I'm trying to remember the other person. It wasn't Walter, but it was. But anyways, they all came out. The crowd was super hot for Walter, and when Walter debuted, the place erupted. So it looks like that we might be seeing more Imperium on actual NXT now. So there is going to be some sort of talent swap between the UK brand and for the regular NXT, where they're going to do like a swap out every couple of months or so. And what better way than to have Imperium debut on NXT?
Not only that, but Kushida and Walter.
I was going to get to that right now.
Oh, we were talking about that earlier too. Is like that's the other thing about NXT is that you can think in your head of these future matches that are potential, and not every, but a lot of matches in NXT, they're like one-offs, right? You see like Ricochet fought Adam Cole, and that was a good match. And
right.
You see these like, and then you think ahead, like, man, when Pete Dunne fights Oni Lorcan, that'll be a really good match. And like, it's not like seeing Bobby Lashley versus Finn Balor, a million times over again on Raw. Like, it's just these one-off matches that are so great, and to see them happen is awesome. And then to think about the potential of, I mean, dude, put Walter versus Leo Rush or any of these matches you could put together. And you're like, when those guys meet, it's going to be awesome.
Walter and Keith Lee.
Oh,
dude,
that is going to be phenomenal.
Great. And
you're not
or
going to
Donovan
see
Dijak.
You're not going to see them in a tug of war match.
no.
You're not going to see any stupid bullshit. You're going to see hard hitting, fucking top notch wrestling. And I hate to say it, but AEW is in trouble.
Yeah,
Hoss on
absolutely.
Hoss on Hoss action, baby.
Because what other monsters does AEW have other than Luchasaurus?
That's it.
I mean, at the moment, that's really the only really big guy they have.
We just named 3 giant hosses.
Yeah.
The
The meatiest of the meat.
yeah. And then just I don't know. I'm worried for I was very optimistic for AEW, but this was the first shot, and it fucking rang the bell.
Yeah.
And I'm still gonna be there.
I'm gonna withhold judgment with AEW until I see the first show.
I'm not giving
Yeah,
judgment.
I'm
just
not.
saying
I'm not gonna say it's done, but
this
no.
was I'm not gonna say it's Pete Dunne, but it's definitely.
well done.
I was hoping you're gonna spit out your beer right now. But it's definitely something that AEW should be concerned with.
Oh yeah,
Right.
we've seen the first shot now, and so we're like, oh god, whoa.
So October 4th, we have Kofi's R.I.P. Obituaries.
Memorial.
Yeah, the next week after we'll have AEW's too. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
Damn.
No, I think
AEW
AEW's
fans.
is 2 days before that, right? Isn't
Oh,
that-
okay,
October
they'll be dead
2nd.
by- they'll be dead by
October
then.
2nd is the debut show.
AEW be dead by then.
They'll be dead by then. Sorry, Mox.
Yeah, and then they're also incorporating NXT UK, and I guess 205 Live is canceled now, or not
No,
canceled, but
they're incorporating the gimmicks.
absorbing.
Yeah.
The smart thing for them to do is to incorporate 205, the cruiserweight division, into NXT and not to the main roster, because they'll be
Right.
better utilized, and the fans will definitely respect them a lot more than being on Raw or SmackDown.
It's still gonna be the
That'll
same format though. They're still gonna show it on that day.
That'll fill out the 2 hours.
Honestly,
or
I don't even
whatever.
think they should do 205 Live anymore. They should just put them into the NXT roster.
Triple
Yeah,
H says
I
it.
agree.
Because you're going to need like I said, you're going to need the talent for 2 hours. And what better way than to have the cruiserweights come out there and wrestle each week? I mean, it could be against each other. It could be against the other talent as well. You definitely need the talent for it.
Here's the thing with NXT. We've been accustomed to 1 hour where we don't see the same wrestler week after week.
Right.
And now that they're 2 hours, they're going to have to start incorporating more like tag matches that like Raw and SmackDown do, where
I
like
hope not.
people are feuding with each other, and now we have to do they have a singles match that ends in a DQ, and then they go into a tag match with the other people that are feuding with each other. They're gonna have to pull out some tricks, and what better way than to have 205 Live incorporated? That way you don't have to see those same matches, the same tricks that Raw and SmackDown pull.
You
out.
have the cruiserweights go out there and wrestle.
Yeah.
I mean, look what made
Dude.
Nitro successful in the beginking.
I was just thinking the same thing. Go
Look what
on.
made Nitro successful in the beginning. The first hour, when they open up Nitro, they always open up with the cruiserweights, and it was always a different. It was always you had Rey Mysterio, you had Psychosis, Juventud Guerrero, Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko. You had a good group of guys out there, very talented, that went out there and they showed the world what they can do and why you should watch Nitro. It was high pace, fast, and it was like balls to the walls offense.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say this. Okay, so they've already announced Sammy Guevara versus Cody on AEW's first show.
Okay.
What would you rather tune into? Does Cody versus Sammy Guevara do anything to make you want to change your mind about watching NXT instead of AEW?
No.
Nope.
Just for that match?
Just on what that match, that, and then they're gonna have the women's champion, Riho versus Nyla Rose.
Another Rose. Just based off those two matches, no, but
Nope.
you're watching it because of the debut, because of what they can actually do outside of those two matches. What can AEW perform? Because this hype, this AEW hype has been going on ever since they announced AEW.
They got to go all out. They
So
got to have the pyro. They gotta have their production down because
Right.
WWE isn't playing around.
Nope.
WWE is not playing around, and they have literally the best of the indies. I feel like AEW at this point, because of what I watched, we haven't even gotten into the Matt Riddle part, but what I watched on NXT was them showing them we have all this talent, and AEW I feel like is kind of scraping the bottom.
Right.
I mean, they have Kenny Omega, they have the Young Bucks, they have Pentagon, they have big names, but as far as like talent pool, NXT has it in spades.
It's game.
Yeah,
It's
well,
over.
we were talking earlier about how I thought I saw something about Kenny Omega, how he said, we have a main roster, we have a talented roster that's going up against a developmental roster. Like trying to insult NXT.
No, that's not.
Do you see NXT as a developmental like company?
In the beginning,
anymore?
they were, but not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not
It's
anymore.
over, yeah.
Then, like he's talking about him as if they're trying to learn how to wrestle still. And
Right.
Yeah,
that's not what it's about at all. It's,
Kenny Omega had matches with those guys like 5-10 years ago.
Yeah.
They're not rookies. I mean, you can look at your Aliyahs and you can look at your like other people
yes,
that
there are people that are still like
learning.
honing their craft or whatever. But I think as far as the term developmental, they're developing into the WWE style of learning where the cameras are and learning how to manage yourself backstage and manage your career and your character or whatever.
I watched Kenny Omega versus Roderick Strong like 8 years ago.
yeah.
So you're not getting people that don't know how to wrestle.
Roderick's not developing himself. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as an in-ring talent, he's simply phenomenal. The thing about AEW though is that there's a lot of unknown names within that company.
They're gonna have to step up.
They're gonna have to They have to introduce them who they are, and I think that so far they're doing the best they can as far as introducing the wrestlers to a new audience. Because a lot of these fans, even though they are hardcore fans, they don't know a lot of their talent, especially the ones coming from Japan and from abroad. So they need to introduce them and have them demonstrate what they can actually do in the ring, tell a story, and go from there.
They have the Chinese superstars that are coming in too, which I don't know anything about.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, can they introduce the audience to that fan base? I mean, again, going back to WCW, not a lot of them knew who the luchadors were back then. But WCW, for their credit, they introduced the luchadors to make them known to the American audience.
Yeah,
And it worked for them.
and you start hot.
And they start hot, exactly. So
We're literally 12 days away from the official Wednesday Night Wars, and I feel like we had a great talk. Next week, let's literally put down pros and cons for each company, and we'll see on paper before they go head to head which one we think will win based on the pros and cons. Brad, you're more than welcome to come back again if you like. Yeah. But I think this is a great way. We're going to put a pin in this right now. Thank you guys so much for listening, downloading, subscribing, telling your friends, neighbors, telling your friends, neighbors' dogs. I mean, I'm sure that there's an audience there for them too. By the way, that goes out to Sparky out there in Temecula, California.
shout out to Sparky.
And we do this every week. We love you guys. Make sure you let everyone know where they can find us: Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, I think, Pornhub, you name it, we're there. Keep spreading the word. We are the new world order of professional podcasting, and we will see you next week. But the one thing I want to talk about, which we almost forgot about, was the ending. Matt Riddle versus Killian Dane in a street fight. What did you guys think about this? I thought it was a great way to end the show. What did you guys think?
Yeah, it was really cool that they went outside and there was people hanging out and everybody started fighting and joined in, and it was cool.
Literally, the entire locker room was fighting each other. You saw people that have never intermingled with each other fighting each other. I thought this was kind of a little jab at AEW to show them that, like, you know, the Codys and your Young Bucks and everyone's kind of friends with each other. Kenny Omega, you guys do your little YouTube channel. You guys are all friends. Well, guess what? Here at NXT, no one is friends. Everyone fights each other. We have a beef with everybody. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's good. It also brings it back to old school pro wrestling where kayfabe doesn't get crosses as much, and I love that part of it.
It's
Yeah,
it's
me
a nice
too. I
throwback
agree.
to the Attitude Era where some of the Raws ended with these brawls, where there's free for alls. I thought it was a nice throwback.
Yeah, where you'd see the Hart Foundation fighting DOA, fighting Nation of Domination, fighting D-Generation X.
Glory years, man.
I really like the ending of NXT, and it ended on a cliffhanger where I can't wait to watch what happens next week.
Yeah, I love when things are kayfabe, and that is one criticism that I've had about AEW since
You said it, yeah.
I've said it from the beginning, is that I feel like I'm watching a company with a bunch of buddies that are just putting on a show.
Right.
And I really want to suspend my disbelief when I watch wrestling. And I obviously it's all fake, and all the F words.
It's fake?
What?
Obviously these guys are all buddies and whatever, but like I don't want to know that. I don't want it to be shown put in my face or whatever. So I don't know. AEW is very guilty of that, and that's one of my biggest criticisms from the very beginning. Is just it's watching a company with a bunch of buddies that are fighting each other.
Yeah, so I'm.
What did you think I was gonna say?
The black with a bunch of black people.
Whoa, where did that come
I was like,
from?
wait, what?
Bunch of black people fighting each other.
But yeah, definitely excited to see where these Wednesday Night War take us.